Okay, so in this video we are looking at our first type of rate that we are going to explore in this series, and this is heart rate. So what I've written here is an abbreviation, MHR, which just stands for maximum heart rate. So when you're exercising or doing any physical activity, your heart rate is going to increase. Now, heart rate, it's measured, because we said that all rates are measured as two quantities, comparing two quantities. Heart rate is measured as number of heartbeats per minute. We also write this as BPM. Okay, so once again, this still goes with our definition of a rate that we established in the last video. It's one quantity, number of heartbeats, per one quantity of another, which is minutes here. So working with these, we're hopefully not going to take too long in this video because the stuff from this is quite straightforward. Now, there's a formula for calculating the maximum heart rate, and that is we take the, let's do another color actually, and that is that the maximum heart rate equals 220, so the number 220 minus the age of the person in years. So that means that when you're exercising, your maximum heart rate is relative to your age, and it won't exceed this particular number that we're going to find. So let's put a box around this. So this is going to be our formula for calculating the maximum heart rate. We always take this number 220 and we minus someone's age in years. Now, for this first example, we are going to just find or estimate the maximum heart rate of an 18-year-old. So we have an 18-year-old. So we know the person's age. The person is 18 years old. And we are just going to substitute that into this part of our formula. So all this is we take our maximum heart rate to be this number 220 minus the age of the person, 18, which gives us 202 beats per minute. So we can just write it as 202 BPM. So this is, again, just an estimate, but we can use this formula to calculate the heart rate of a person. Now, heart rate as well is also relative to someone's age and health. So another part of this video and topic chapter in your textbook will be to look at, here this is talking about the average resting heart rate. So this is the heart rate when you are resting, when you're not doing anything. And we have to interpret this type of data. So here there's a table which looks at first of all, the health of certain individuals. So I've got that here. And below I have an athlete, excellent, good, above average, average, etc. And in this section here, we are looking at the age of people. So this is going to change depending on their age. That's what we discovered in the last example. So we want to use this table, this data that gives us the resting heart rate for people in different categories as well as different ages. And we want to answer these questions. So the first question is, it's saying, what is the average resting heart rate for a man aged 47 years in good health? So first of all, we want to deal with each part of this question. So we have a 47-year-old person. So we are looking in this particular column, age 46 to 55 years, and we're told this person is in good health. So we are going to look here. And we just look at where these two match up, where the column and row matches up, and we are over here. So the average resting heart rate, the answer to part A, is going to be 64 to 67 beats per minute. Part B, we are looking for the average resting heart rate of for a man aged 25 years in below average health. So let me just undo all these things. Once again, we are looking at all the key parts of the question. So we've got someone aged 25 years and we have below average health. So we're going to find 25 years lies in this age range from 18 to 25 years, and below average health is down here. And like we did in the previous example, we just find the relevant section of this table that lines up with this column and row. So we're given here that the average resting heart rate is going to be 74 to 81 beats per minute, because heart rate is always measured in beats per minute. Okay, part C. We're looking for the health of a man aged 57 years with a resting heart rate of 60. By now, we should be comfortable with this whole procedure, but I'll go through these last two questions with you. We've got 57 years and a resting heart rate of 60. Okay, so here we're doing something slightly different. Before, in the first two parts, we were looking at the average resting heart rate, but now we are looking for the health of a person given their age and the resting heart rate. So we're kind of backwards mapping this. The thing we are actually looking for is the person's health. So that means this entire column here, once we match up the age with the resting heart rate, we will find the person's health. So we're going to do this in a little bit of a backwards way. So we're looking for someone 57 years of age. So we look at this section here that falls in this age range, and we have a resting heart rate of 60. So that falls over here. Now the only difference is now we are given two different pieces of information. We want to map along and see what the health of this person is. And once you line that up, you can see that this person's health is excellent. And that is all we're going to write here. And for the last part, very similar. Let's just reset here. We are looking for the health again. So we're going to do this backwards process again. So we have person is aged 30 years with a resting heart rate of 84. Okay, sweet. So once again, 30 years, that falls in here, 26 to 35 years, and a resting heart rate of 84. So that falls down here because this last bit is just anything 82 or above. So we're going to draw our line across, and we see that this person's health falls in the poor category. So because there's real world implications of this, the less fit you are, the worse your health is, the higher your resting heart rate is going to be, and vice versa. So heart rate depends on a few factors, the health of a person as well as their age, which is important to consider for yourselves once you finish school as well, because health is quite an important thing. But once we find this, we can see that the person's health is going to be poor. So this is it for the video. We've just introduced this idea of a maximum heart rate, which we get by doing the number 220 minus a person's age. This gives us an average maximum heart rate, and we found the average resting heart rate for, we will work with men and women depending on the questions in the textbook you're working through, but we are interpreting these types of tables and really just reading off the data and finding the key bits to answer questions like the one here.